Sergeant? Sergeant Tibbs! I say, Sergeant!
What? Oh, yes, Captain.
Barking signal. It's an alert. Report to the Colonel at once.
Yes, sir. Righto, sir. Right away, sir.
Well, you saw it there. This video will be all about Sergeant Tibbs, the mangy tabby cat from 101 Dalmatians, who led out the entire 99 Dalmatian puppy convoy out of Hell Hall, essentially being the one to start off the entire adventure that led Pongo and Perdita and their now 99 lot of children back to the hands of Roger and Anita. Tibbs definitely played an integral part in the escape mission, and despite not having much screen time and only appearing in the middle section of the movie, there's a lot more layers to his character than one would expect at first glance. And that's exactly what I'll be doing here, analysing the inner workings of one Sergeant Tibbs. I'll split this essay into 3 sections. First, I'll give a brief overview and rundown of Tibbs' role in the movie. Second, which will be the fun part, I'll analyse his character, pointing out the many qualities that he possesses that makes him absolutely one of the best parts of the flick. And third, I'll give my thoughts on him. Most likely it'll be my favourite aspects of his personality. All that sound good? Alright, let's go. Tibbs is first seen at the end of the Twilight Bar that's been set off by Pongo after he and Perdita's 15 puppies have been stolen. The captain, who received the alert, calls Tibbs into action and he's ordered to report to the Colonel immediately. The Colonel listens to the alert, with Tibbs lending a helping hand to make sure the message is received correctly. After taking the alert in, Tibbs raises a possible tie to the message in the form of nearby Hell Hall, of which he'd heard barks coming from it a few nights prior. The Colonel takes Tibbs to Hell Hall to check things out, and Tibbs' suspicions are proven true when he sees not only Pongo and Perdita's 15 stolen puppies, but 84 others that were store-bought, totaling 99 altogether. Unfortunately for Tibbs, he's spotted and chased out of the hall by Jasper Baden. With Pongo and Perdita approaching, Tibbs spots Cruella de Vil's car heading to Hell Hall, and once again he's called by the Colonel to head over there, as danger is coming and coming fast. Tibbs says to the puppies that he's going to bust them out after hearing Cruella's devilish plan to kill and skin them. Once again, Tibbs gets spotted by Jasper just after he gets all of the puppies out of the room via a hole in the wall. A game of literal cat and mouse commences, but with the roles reversed, as Tibbs tries to lead all of the puppies to safety as Jasper and Horace chase after them. All hope seems lost when Tibbs and the puppies are cornered by the Badens, but Pongo and Perdita arrive in the nick of time, allowing Tibbs to escape with the puppies back to the barn. Unfortunately, the Badens are in hot pursuit, following the puppies' trail right to the barn where they're hiding. In one last act of heroicness, Tibbs buys time with the Colonel and the Captain by distracting the Badens, allowing the Dalmatian convoy to escape and continue heading home. The group engage in combat, but sadly the Badens spot the trail again and continue the chase. Tibbs has many qualities and characteristics in his arsenal that really allow him to shine as a multi-layered character, but a lot of these qualities are hidden deep within. On the surface, Tibbs appears as somewhat of a coward. He's easily startled by sudden elements, jerking awake from his slumber after the captain orders him up, and getting scared that Jasper has found his hiding spot with the puppies. He's also easily worried by Hell Hall due to its ominous, dark and dangerous appearance, especially since he has to traverse inside of it on orders of the Colonel. But orders are something Tibbs takes seriously and does not question, as whatever order he is given, either by the Captain or the Colonel, Tibbs is always quick to follow through with them, on account of his respect and loyalty of those in the higher ranks. His fear of going into Hell Hall is something he has to grin and bear, and Tibbs does not disrespectfully reject orders. He is polite and honours those who have more knowledge and experience than he does. Tibbs is shown to be constantly alert, never letting anything distract him from his mission. When the Twilight Bar reaches Tibbs' base of operations, which is presented like an army barracks despite being nothing more than a simple farm, Tibbs is there to lend a helping hand to the Colonel with decoding the message, and Tibbs' inclusion in this procedure is very much vital to the mission. Due to the Colonel's older age and inevitable worse sense of hearing, Tibbs makes sure to listen to the message too, as his younger age means he has a better sense of hearing, so he can receive the message in its complete and correct form. The Colonel ultimately does decode the message incorrectly, but Tibbs is quick to relay the correct information, as inaccurate reports would lead to the whole mission being squandered and maybe even aborted. This shows Tibbs' loyalty, respect, good sense of awareness and pride, as he wants to carry out the mission in the correct way to help those in need. Without Tibbs, the Colonel would most likely have screwed up the entire operation. Not his fault of course, as he is old, so a younger apprentice is definitely what he needs. Speaking of Tibbs' awareness, as soon as the alert is received correctly, he is the first one to tie the message back to a point of possible danger that he has taken note of. With the message report being about 15 Dalmatian puppies being stolen, Tibbs mentions how he heard barking coming from Hell Hall a few nights prior. This demonstrates his constant awareness and ability to take suspicious activity on board, as he is not one to ignore things that don't seem to be quite right. Tibbs is also a skilled and intelligent mathematician. A few times throughout his on-screen appearance, Tibbs can take calculations and formulas, work them out, and come out with the correct answer almost instantly. Once again, when receiving the Twilight Bark, Tibbs listens carefully to the mathematical aspect of the message, working it out as he receives the information, as the Colonel gets it wrong, but Tibbs is there to make it right, as the correct information is vital and the top priority before taking the mission. Later, when he enters Hell Hall, he is given further information about the stolen puppies by a couple of the other ones that are there, and takes it on board. This being that they're likely in front of the television. Tibbs quickly counts the puppies by the TV due to him being in an unsafe environment. He knows he needs to get the information fast, but also to keep it accurate, as he's due to report back to the Colonel to further out the mission. Jasper interrupts him in the middle of his count, but he recovers in lightning fast speed, remembering where he left off and which puppies he'd already counted, as one simple miscalculation would again squander the entire mission. Tibbs is very much capable of solving problems on the spot by himself without any help. He's ordered into Hell Hall, and he finds a way inside the hall itself, and is then able to traverse through the hall towards the room where the puppies are being held. This was during his first foray. His second foray sees him finally preparing to bust them all out, via the hole in the wall that he found himself. Tibbs is able to order the puppies into a formally queue to escape out of the hall, as he recognises this is the most simple, effective, quick, and practical means of escape, and in the process, he naturally becomes the leader of the convoy. Tibbs steps into the role of the older mentor in this section. He was the learner during his conversations with the Colonel, but he is now the one with the knowledge and experience and being able to lead those that are younger. He is able to carry out the task successfully, but accidentally grabs the attention of Jasper and Horace, who are very much the enemies. But Tibbs is able to lead the puppies into a temporary state of protection until his cover is blown. He recognises the instant danger and quickly takes the puppies to the next safest spot, only for this to be blown too. In this chase, Tibbs still maintains his respectful attitude and level of awareness as he quickly reports to the Colonel of his actions, despite being in a frantic and hectic position. Though Tibbs is shown to be terrified in the face of danger, he still puts himself out there. We first saw this through his traversion of Hell Hall, and it's once again on display during the end of the chase. Tibbs guards the puppies with his life, knowing that they are to be saved at all costs, visibly frightened and shaking, but defiantly mentally strong. Tibbs quickly adapts once more when Pongo and Perdita distract the Baddens. He finds an opening to carry out the escape and retreats back to the barracks. In his last few moments, Tibbs showcases his ability to think things through and plan ahead. When the Baddens are reported to be approaching, the Colonel instantly resorts to combat, but Tibbs raises the argument that this course of action will be disastrous. Nevertheless, he follows through with the order due to his respect and loyalty. In his last goodbyes to Pongo, Perdita, their 15 puppies, and now the 84 others that he himself had rescued, and are now going to be hopefully freed too, Tibbs expresses gratitude after being thanked for his heroic effort, but he adds that it's merely routine. This most definitely is not the first time Tibbs has embarked on a dangerous mission, and it certainly won't be the last. After spending his time escaping, Tibbs finally fights, teaming up with the Colonel and the Captain to take on the Baddens, but these attacks are more harmful than helpful, as they inadvertently help the Baddens to see where the convoy headed, thus accidentally helping them continue their pursuit. Seems like Tibbs' argument and warning of the attacks being disastrous were in fact true. Tibbs is easily my favourite character in the whole movie. I love his well-spoken and polite nature, a trait that many characters in this flick all share. He's always respectful and never hesitates to follow orders given by those higher up than him, showing that he understands where he is in the ranks.
Colonel? I say, Colonel, sir? Colonel, sir, I just remembered. 2 nights past, I heard puppy barking over at Hell Hall. Come on, shake a leg. Psst, kids, follow me.
Tibbs being the one to carry out the mission isn't just a result of his orders, but also his younger age and smaller size. Both of these qualities mean that he can zip around fast and squeeze into tight spaces, both vital abilities needed in a mission such as this one. I like that at first glance it appears as though Tibbs is lazy, a goofball and a coward, since his introduction certainly paints this picture, but as his role progresses, we can see that he's definitely not any of those things. He does get scared easily, but he's able to grin and bear the fear, showing his strong, resilient heart. He puts himself out there no matter what, as he knows his mission is always to help others, regardless of his own personal feelings towards the matter. I definitely enjoy Tibbs stepping into the role of the ringleader after he's being the student, so to speak, during his conversations with the captain and the colonel. This shows his natural ability to take leadership when it's required. Tibbs is definitely brave, even if he doesn't think so deep down, just a result of his warrior spirit. Ultimately, he was an important character in the flick as he literally started off the entire escape mission by rescuing all the puppies. By himself, mind you. While he wasn't the first in the long chain of the rescue convoy to receive the message, he was the one to take the first bout of action, and the chain ultimately continued from then on, getting more and more crazy as it progressed. It's also a blessing that Tibbs was the one to always take note of his surroundings, as shown when he pointed out the barks coming from Hell Hall that he heard a few days prior. Perhaps if the message had arrived too late, or Tibbs had just ignored the activity entirely, the story very much could have ended much sooner on a much more depressing note. Tibbs' time on screen may have only been brief, but it was a lot more than some of the other characters, and it was definitely impactful. Add to the fact that Tibbs' voice actor, David Frankham, was previously a soldier in World War II just really adds more to his character. His whole persona was literally a sergeant, so getting someone with an actual military background to voice him made him all the more convincing. David is even still alive and well today. At the time of me recording this video, he's currently 98 years old. That's definitely a milestone to be proud of. I'd like to think Tibbs got a promotion after his incredible effort and participation in the rescue mission. He earned it, no doubt. Perhaps all those previous missions he's accomplished have paid off. He did say it's routine after all. Tibbs is an underrated character that I haven't really seen many people appreciate. This is probably due to the fact that he wasn't a major character in the movie. But I've done just that, as I've highlighted all the qualities and characteristics that truly, in my opinion, make Tibbs the absolute GOAT of 101 Dalmatians. Even though he's a cat. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. I'm Jay the Taz, and I'll see you next time.